And I thought, well, this is going to be quite a chore for an old country boy, but I decided to do my best. And the more I was with him, the more I became attached to him, and that just kept growing on me. And which it will with anyone, I think. It's with anything that's as great as that horse was, and something that you really like. Why, you learn to love them. Red and white checkered brow band and nose band on, which was the red and white was Mr. Baker's stable colors, and he always wore that when he was led in front of the grandstand or for exhibition purposes. And then he had a special made real light show horse with his name on it and a brass plate that when people would come out to see him and he was led out in front of the stable for them to look at him or to take pictures, he always wore this little light halter to show off him. One of the questions that so many people ask when they come to see Greyhound was why we always kept a blanket on him. Well, there was more than one reason. Mr. Baker always wanted him to look like a show horse and always wanted him dressed up. But another reason was that him being a snow white horse, he would eat hay and grass and so on and so forth, and if he hadn't had a blanket on, naturally the flies would have got on him, or he'd have had a little itchy spot or something, and he would reach around and bite himself or try to scare the fly off, and he would get the stain of the hay and the grass on him, which would mean another bath, even though it wasn't Saturday. And, you know, that won't do for take too many baths. And his blankets had to be specially made. They had to be a large size because he was such a large horse, and there had to be a special cut in the shoulders because his shoulders were so long and sloping and his withers high, which is what all good horsemen look for in a trotter, is a good, strong, long sloping shoulder, which adds to their stride and their speed. And that, of course, old Greyhound had all of that. So that's why he was kept blanketed. Well, in the wintertime, he wore a heavy sort of a canvas blanket or a heavy cloth blanket, and which was always red with white surcingle. And then in the summertime, in hot weather, of course, he had to change to his Palm Beach suit, which was blankets were white and of a very light, cool material. And that had a change of blankets sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. They fool around and slobber on those white blankets just like any kid would do.